What it do? Hi. I know it took me a minute to kind of go live for this Kurt Cobain session. I just had to make sure that I meditated, and to be honest with you, I kind of go through this process where I kind of work on spirit's time. So even if I'm scheduling things, I have to kind of work with the energy. Hi, Amor. I have to work with the energy and basically go through the process of just giving them time when they're ready. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but yesterday was his birthday, and I just kind of felt like his energy, he really wanted to just have the time to spend with his family, and I respected that. And so today we're just going to, focus on his energy and what's going on. So his birthday was yesterday. So 2/20/67. I'm going to be using this card as the oracle card, and I got some interesting energy prior to going live, and I want to share it with you. There's going to be a couple of things that we're going to talk about, just pertaining to his life, the way that he feels in his body. I don't know, he made that very, very clear to me, just the feeling in his body, and certain situations pertaining to that, and we're going to get more heavier into that as we shuffle up these cards. So this is just general, focusing on his energy, how he's feeling about life, how he's feeling about different circumstances, and then we're going to get into it. It's good, Maya. Hi, Michelle. So let me just shuffle this up. It's pretty late. I'm not really expecting too many people or whatever, but I know that whoever's going to look for this, they're going to find it, and they've been waiting for me to do this reading. So one last time. All right. Okay. So the first thing that I'm getting right now is, in the past, he is showing me that he did his best to remain confident and remain strong throughout the process of his life. He's showing me that there are times where he felt like people kind of, I guess you could say, doubted him due to the way that he talked, and he felt as if the media kind of fed off of that, but he was extremely a very strong individual, doing his best to kind of, even though he suffered from depression, suffered from so many different ailments in his life, he tried to remain as strong as he could, no matter how many obstacles were in his way. Here's what I have in the root. The root is a lot of anxiety, not being able to sleep, a lot of paranoia. That's the sense that I was pretty much getting. Dealing with old attachments. This came up in the situation. Dealing with kind of he's saying his past haunting him, or even his own successes haunting him, which made it very difficult for him to rest. And this is probably due to, even with this attachment card, he's I held on to a lot of inner secrets with myself, of who I really wanted to be and how I wanted to truly express myself. And I felt like the expression of who I was misunderstood, or it felt a little fake to me, given the fact that I feel like he's saying, given the fact that I'm a musician, I'm an artist, but being on such a big platform, it just made him feel as if kind of I keep hearing sellout, kind of cheap, basically, for whatever reason. Even though he gained so much success from it, it just made him feel like people really didn't understand who he was emotionally. And I think that he was dealing with a couple of inner conflicts. And I'm going to mention this. I don't know why I need to mention this, but I'm just going to mention it and just trust my intuition on this. But I really feel like he had a very intuitive energy to him, and not only that, a feminine energy. And I just kind of wonder if he struggled with self-identification. And when I say this, I'm trying to say this in the most respectful way, but like, given the fact that he was born male, and I just kind of wonder if he would have been more comfortable in a female form. And I just kind of wonder if he struggled with that. And that's just something that I feel like I'm picking up on. Like, that's something that's hidden, buried deep within himself. He's saying that when it comes down to his life, there were a lot of people that were jealous of him, a lot of envious people. And he really didn't understand why, and it really kind of hurt him on some level, because they kind of felt like, how could he not appreciate the life that he has, given his, success and everything that comes along with it. But he was very isolated and very lonely. He didn't feel like he knew where to turn to. This is in his subconscious mind. Not knowing who to really trust and who to turn to, because he felt like he wanted to probably do something better for himself, but I kind of feel like it was like, no matter where he turned, he felt like there was always something that was going to trap him on some level. Near future, these are things that he's doing his best to work on and heal within his spirit from what he's communicating, and he's kind of making it very present that he wants to talk about certain things, which I love, because Archangel Gabriel is all about communication and the voice and expressing what his initial message is. The last card that I see here is the Healer of the Ages, which personally shows that he truly appreciates the people that really care for his spirit and his well-being, and he feels as if that he's going through this process of trying to not only heal himself, but trying to make sure that his life has some sort of sentimental meaning behind healing the planet. That seems to be a very big thing for him, because he's putting a lot of emphasis on that. And I think that's probably dealing with a lot of the situations when it comes down to, the attachments that he struggled with, the drug use, the anxiety that he dealt with, not knowing where to turn, and just kind of wondering what's the best answer for himself. And he knows that he's like, I keep hearing, I know that I faded, like I was fading, and I was struggling with a lot of different things, especially dealing with the world, dealing with my surroundings. It's like, the best way to describe it, especially on a spiritual path, it's a situation to where I'm kind of doing my best to kind of walk in his shoes, or in his awareness. And it's like roaming the earth and knowing that it's not supposed to be the way that people perceive it to be. Like, he has a very, how can I say it, like a free-spirited bohemian sense to him. Like, naturally, like, we shouldn't have to be paying for anything type of mentality. Like, we all should just have, everyone should have creative element to be free. Everyone should have the sustainability to have free energy or to eat well. Everyone should be aware of the levels of suffering. And I just kind of feel like when he came into this world, a lot of people didn't understand the sufferings that he felt, because he was highly sensitive, given the fact that he's a Pisces and he has that Virgo moon, and it made him think a lot. It made him think about just different aspects about life. He was very, very aware of that. And it felt like anytime that he saw certain people doing specific things, he took on that initial suffering as well, I feel like. And even if they didn't realize it, like he could feel the sufferings that they were going through in their bodies. And it just kind of took a toll on his own personal anxieties and his own personal attachments that were going on. Okay, so I'm going to be using my normal deck. Okay, so I'm using the King of Cups. Basically, this is a water sign card, okay, cup card. And I'm just going to shuffle up these cards really quick. And just focus on his energy and see what he wants to say with the regular tarot. If you do have questions, feel free to ask questions below, and I'll do my best to focus on your questions. All right. You guys are excited. That's great. All right. So let's see what he has to say with the regular tarot. And then if I don't see any questions, I'm going to probably get into some more heavier stuff. That makes sense. Okay. So just focusing on a couple of things. He's very much focused on his daughter. He seems to point her out. It's like, even though he sees her, you know, she's a grown woman now, but he still sees her as like his baby girl, his little girl, and she's like so beautiful. Like, he just thinks that she's like this perfect, you know, just a perfect representation of himself, and he's like truly appreciating the fact that she has still alive, that she's still thriving, and he like really just loves her. He's keeping his spirit around her energy a lot, from what he's saying. He wants to talk about death. He has this on his crown. Okay, dealing with death, transformation, dealing with the different changes that he was going through. He was very much into the exploration of trying to understand what else is out there in the universe. He knows that he had different choices that he could have made, that could have been better to probably prevent this situation. And sometimes I think he gets into a situation to where he wonders if things would have probably been different if he made a different choice, or if things were a little different in his life, as far as like contemplating his path. And the root is the possession, and I feel like this is more so dealing with the victory card, which indicates overwhelmment of success in a situation. So feeling as if like you're no longer a human. Like, the feeling that I get, it's like, God, like, you know, like people are just so, it's like people grabbing at you all the time. And I think that was probably one of the downfalls of dealing with fame, is that he didn't really feel as if he was a human being anymore. He felt more like a product than someone that should have been appreciated more. He felt more like a financial possession than someone that could have really truly just appreciate who he was as a person. And I think that it really affected how he felt. He's pulling out the Queen of Pentacles in the near future. And he's also showing me the Fool card and the juggling, the basically indecisiveness with the Two of Pentacles. Feeling as if that he took this aspect of kind of expressing himself the best way that he could to this person that he trusted. And this could be someone that's like a lawyer. I feel like it's like a female lawyer or something. And I just kind of get the sense that it's not necessarily that he wanted to go through this process of suicide per se. I just kind of felt like he was very curious about it. He was curious about life. He was curious about death. He was curious about reincarnation. He's very curious about specific things. He has a very interesting thought process. And I just kind of felt like he was on this brink of going on this journey to where he felt as if like things were getting out of control, and things were financially probably bothering him a bit. And he just kind of, things just weren't resonating the way that it was supposed to resonate with him. And he felt like maybe if he just got away from where he was, meaning leaving the country, meaning kind of like getting away privately, things would have been a little bit better, because this is more like a travel card with this Eight of Wands, like doing their best to communicate and to get away and to take a break. He did not want to be, I just really feel like he just did not want to be in America anymore. I just feel like he just kind of wanted to just stop what he's doing, go someplace like, I don't know, in like the countryside of France or someplace else, and just like live on a farm and live a completely different life. And I just kind of felt like people were kind of pulling him back, constantly pulling him back into a world that didn't make him happy anymore, a world that created so much temptations for him, which probably made it worse when it came down to his own personal drug abuses and different situations that were going on. I really feel as if that's why there's so much admiration for his daughter, because I don't know why, but I really get the sense that he probably struggled with feeling like he was born in the wrong body. Like, I don't know why, that's the feeling that I get. Like, I just get like this interesting feeling that he felt like he was born in the wrong body, and he just came out during a certain time to where he really didn't feel comfortable expressing himself, because he's showing me like situations with his family or with his childhood to where he probably would have been shunned for being who he was. And I just feel like when you're going out into the public and out into the world, it's not something that that's like 100% trusted, if that makes sense. It's not fully accepted, and maybe he didn't really love himself or accept himself. So his daughter is like this aspect of him that's like perfection for him, like just complete perfection, and he's very proud of that. So I'm going to focus on actually, let me see if I can find a card pertaining to Courtney. And Courtney's birthday is July 9th, 64. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a card that represents her energy. Let me see. I'm going to decide. You guys can kind of help me decide which one I should use to represent her. I kind of feel like I already have the card, actually, but I just want you guys to help me out with this. Okay, I can't find the other card, so I'm just going to use the card that I initially thought of and initially pulled out. This usually, okay, with this card, this is more like a fire sign card, the Queen of Wands, even though she's a Cancer. It's just the fact that this is a more free-spirited card. More of like a, how can I say it, just a fiery electric kind of card, given the fact that she kind of played guitar, etc. So I'm going to be using this as her, and I'm going to place Courtney on Kurt Cobain's crown, and then basically see how he feels about his wife, and just pertaining to that situation. So let's just focus on Courtney and Kurt, and how Kurt feels about his wife. Because I know this is very controversial, because a lot of people feel there's a lot of backlash dealing with the wife being in his life, and just so many different things. So I just want to see what his response is in regards to his wife. Wow. Okay. Whoa. This is heavy. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys what I have, but I guess I'm probably surprised at the position that certain things are in, because I had like no idea that this is gonna like come out like this. Maybe I'm a bit optimistic, but he seems to be very direct about how he feels. And I'm just gonna get into it. Here we go. Indecisiveness. I think that this is like a situation to where, again, I felt like he was teetering back and forth about what to do. Maybe this is an aspect of questioning specific motives. And it's a situation to where it's very hard, because when you love someone, you're with them, you have a child with them, you're crazy about them. And sometimes there are thoughts in the back of your mind that are like, okay, is this right for me? Or, does this person really care for me the way that they should care for me? So he's showing me that he's struggling with this. He was struggling with this particular situation in the root with the Two of Pentacles, juggling back and forth between making a decision about whether if this person should be in their life. Okay, he's pulling out this card, the Knight of Wands in the past. And this is an indication to where this is someone that's younger than her and probably younger than him. And the reason why I'm going to tie all of this in, so I'm going to put this card down for now, but I'm just going to tie all of this in a minute. The Hanged Man is in his subconscious mind. And I said to him before doing this reading, this is crazy, dude. I'm sorry. I specifically said to him, if he pulls out like the Hermit card and the Hanged Man card, that there's some level of foul play or something's off. He placed the Hanged Man in his subconscious mind, which means being in a space of basically things not progressing the way that he was expecting things to progress, and feeling as if he's kind of like you see right here, hanging by the foot. You understand? Like even the foot itself, that's like Pisces energy right there, Neptune. This card is ruled by Neptune. Not coming to terms with the illusions of how things are in public versus how things are in private. It's very difficult for him to deal with. The Hanged Man usually deals with sacrifice. The Hanged Man usually deals with feeling as if you have no choice but to accept your fate. I have her on the crown, okay? So we have that. Here's where things get crazy. This is what's in the situation. Usually whenever we have the Lover's card in the situation, this is so crazy for me to say, because like I said, this is in contrary like to what is publicly out there. What's publicly out there is the doting wife that loves her husband, and usually whenever this Lover's card comes up in the situation, it usually is an indication that someone is loving another person more than they're being loved, and that's the feeling that I get, that it's not a balanced situation. And it's kind of like placing this in reverse whenever this shows up in the situation. So basically it's kind of an indication like this, like falling out of love, knowing that certain things are not good for you, and probably wanting to remove yourself from certain situations. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like I feel like when he had that situation where he escaped from the rehab center and doing all of that other stuff, like I feel like he tried to work certain things out, but I just feel like this is a trap. It's a trap. It's not good. Here's why I'm saying that certain things, why I'm going to bring this person back in. This is someone from the past, and he may be aware of this person. He may have known about this person or had instinctual thoughts about what was going on, but I just get like this sense that he questions loyalty. He questions specific things pertaining to affairs. So this Three of Cups is usually talking about a three-way triangle that's going on with relationships. And probably knowing about this, it's just like really, oh God, like the feeling that I get, it's like really, it's really affecting his psyche, like really, it just really makes him feel like shit. I'm just gonna say it. It really makes him feel like shit. And that's just kind of like the way that I feel. Like this is making him feel like shit. And he would try. He's kind of showing me like this, like he'd probably confide to someone else about this. But this is a slow, gradual discovery is what he's indicating. This is a slow, gradual discovery about what was going on. And it was extremely hurtful. It was extremely hurtful for him. Uh, Even, just like a brief synopsis, people were talking about like how he got out of the rehab like on the 30th and then purchased a gun shortly after, the rifle shortly after. And, or no, it was like right before he went into rehab, he purchased the rifle. And then, he escaped 2 days later because he entered into rehab, escaped 2 days later, and basically went missing. Now, I'm going to ask him about that because, see, here's the part that's kind of interesting to me is that I'm assuming you have this rifle. I'm trying to remember where he purchased this from. And the thing that's kind of perplexing to me is like, is this thing at the home or, where could this thing be? Because if he really wanted to, I guess I need to just ask about the suicide like itself. If that's something that he was attempting to do, wouldn't he, have successfully done it on his own, either in rehab or someplace else, or, whatever the situation may be, I guess. But let me just find out about that, dealing with that. Let's see, her father said that she mentioned that she was a child, she was going to grow up and kill her a rock star. You don't say. Her father wrote a book on it. Wow. That's intense. So this is like pertaining to what happened when dealing with this particular situation. I'm going to find out if this was by his hand alone. And if people come up in this particular situation, then I'm going to like lose my shit like the rest of you. All right, so one more time. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. So dealing with this particular situation, he's placing the full card in the root. This is something that he is walking into, not knowing where this journey is going to take him. Okay, number one. And the way that I know that that this situation is very interesting is because he's placing the Hermit in the past. So this is an indication to me that he was not by himself when this whole ordeal was going on. And I was hoping that there was not going to be anybody that kind of comes up in this particular situation, but he's showing me this King of Pentacles on his crown and the Nine of Cups in his subconscious mind, which means that the feeling that I get, it's like someone familiar to him, basically, meaning that either someone was there or came over or was aware of where he was. And I just get like this interesting feeling to where it's like, oh yeah, we could, come over, we can talk about a couple of things, I'll be over here, or whatever the situation is. And this person is showing up, they're coming over, maybe like, and usually the King of Pentacles is someone that's like, I feel like management or has like business, or probably maybe could be in business with him in a interesting way. And it's like they know how he is. They know how he is with his personal addictions or whatever it is, but they allow it to happen, is what he's showing me. They're allowing this to happen. And the situation is the strength card, which usually means that this is like a weakening of the immune system or weakening of someone's will. And from that particular situation, we're aware that he had a lot of heroin in his system at the time, neatly placed back in a box, basically. And that's what's affecting him. I think that's the reason why I'm taking like my time doing this reading, because it's like I'm getting so much. He's showing me the Tower card. This is someone, like you said, like Make Out Kill is saying, people close to him even said he wasn't suicidal. Tower card usually means like a blunt force or an infliction in conflict, not necessarily with yourself, but this is a card of Mars. So whenever we see this, this is like an altercation or a fight going on. And that's what I kept seeing, like a struggle or a fight. But he's showing me that, again, given the fact that he was under specific influences, especially with this Nine of Cups in his subconscious mind, meaning, drugs or whatever was in his body, it weakened his ability to fight back. This is very crazy to me. Very crazy. This is a success for this guy, because this is kind of like in alignment with the top row that I had. Again, success for this man, whoever this man is. This is a success for him. And I feel like he feels as if like when he was attempting to, of course, when you go through this process, you feel as if like this is like an imprisoned situation. This is like restriction. Like I can't give in. Like I'm doing everything that I can to. Okay, and then he's like kind of showing me, and I'm gonna ask about the letter too, because I feel like I'm getting something else. And again, he keeps pulling up like this Two of Pentacles. This is like the third time that this has like happened. Two of Pentacles. Just dealing with, struggling with certain things, going back and forth, and not really feeling as if like certain people should be trusted. Again, this Page of Pentacles, and this is someone, like I said, could be a business, no close information to him regarding business, female energy, and he's like, eventually this person will open up and have the opportunity to speak on certain things and how they feel. The thing that's interesting is like the first thing that comes to my mind when dealing with this situation is I recall actually looking at I can't even remember her name. Okay, let me just do that because the card just came up. Because I was thinking about a lawyer, right? There was a lawyer, funny enough, who questioned his suicide, okay? Like questioned whether if this was something that was done to him, etc. And the thing is, she felt she had evidence in her bag, or excuse me, Courtney left a bag at her place, and she opened up the bag, and basically it had handwriting in it. Now I don't know if Kurt is like left-handed, right-handed, I'm not too sure, but even like when you're looking at that particular letter, it just seems very, very off. And especially for someone that has like heroin in their system, I would assume that to be able to write would be probably extremely difficult. And on top of that too, and what's Courtney's, okay, he's a lefty. That's how the handwriting, the movement of the handwriting, played out. I just don't know what her, if she's right-handed or left-handed or not, but that's interesting. So it's like, I'm just going to shuffle these up and just tell the story really quick. She opened Courtney's bag that she left at the apartment, found 2 notes, and one note had something on it, and then the second note was like sketching out like someone's ABCs, like, you know, kind of like how you see a child practicing their letters. And even in this film, it was kind of interesting because, oh, interesting. I was just about to mention to you that she was forging his handwriting. Interesting. Because that's what kind of came up when it comes down to like the half portion of the letter. You can literally take a look at those letters that were scribbled on that practice sheet and kind of do an analysis of how close those letters are, you know, to how certain things are being. Exactly. It's hard to mimic left-hand writing. It's very hard to mimic left-hand writing. It's very distinctional. I'm a lefty. There's only like 10% of people on this planet that are left-handed. Everybody else is like right-handed. So it's not that many people that have left-hand writing. And if anyone can find out like what hand she uses, I have a feeling she's probably like right-handed. But it would make a lot of sense because even if you're trying to write with the opposite hand, oh, she is right-handed, okay. I would assume that when you're struggling with attempting to write with the right hand, it's a bit of a struggle. Even if you're writing with your left hand and you're not used to it, it's a bit of a struggle. And it's probably best to attempt to write very big. You know what I mean? Because you're not comfortable. And the thing is that even in that first letter, you know, in the top portion of the letter, you know, who's to say that he didn't attempt to commit suicide? And I just keep feeling like that's like a letter that was like previously from the time that he traveled and that he overdosed, interestingly enough. Which is kind of interesting because there's like this red pen that's like stabbed through this you know, a red pen that's stabbed through the letter, and it's written in black ink. Wow. I don't know. I just feel like I'm like getting a lot of like crazy information right now, like a lot of crazy information. So was she right? Was the lawyer correct about some speculations and how she felt about this particular situation? What was going? Oh shit! Wow. Okay, I just got something. Interestingly enough, like I'm gonna turn over the cards that talk about the lawyer, but it's like it's like he's saying to me that certain things are prompted or staged, and then on top of that too, he felt as if like I said, he doesn't feel like this is like the first person that she slept with, that he's worked with, and he feels like this person probably was probably with his wife at one point. This is crazy. It's like really intense energy. Whoever inflicted this was probably with Courtney at one time. So this is crazy. Alrighty. Okay. Wow. Okay, here we go. I was just talking about this, he came up as the King of Pentacles. Man holding coin is the same reflection of that card. This came up in this situation. Whoever this person is. I don't know if it's like a manager. I don't know if it's someone who's handling money. I don't know if this is like a big businessman that used to be around him in specific relationships. But this person is coming up again and he's placing them in a situation. It's like doing things outside of his will is what he keeps saying. Using, and I don't know why, but that letter, I keep like focusing on that letter. I just feel like that letter was written when he was in Rome. And that letter was mocked to be used in this particular situation again. I'm just going to say that. All right. This makes a lot more sense to me. In the past, he's saying that he had a lot of confrontational discussions. This is storm warning. Usually an indication of a lot of drama, a lot of just bullshit, not being paid what he's supposed to be paid, someone robbing him, someone taking advantage of him and gaining from the successes of his death. The cornucopia card is in the root. People gaining successes from his death, and he's primarily stating that there are two people. I'm assuming those that, the person that he's married to and the other person probably having the rights to specific music, and he's highly upset about that. Just to kind of get back to her, I used the Angel of Balance and this as the woman's card that was Courtney's lawyer, because I wanted to use the Angel of Balance due to the fact that she, basically Angel of Balance is more so indicating about finding balance, the law, how does he feel about her, how does he feel towards her, is she correct? So I'm just going to move into the near future, because this is where he's kind of communicating that. Again, he's ready to open up to the world. He feels as if public opinion is correct. He's kind of showing me that he's happy that she tried to stand up for him the best way that she could, without, putting herself in danger, because he was really concerned about that. But this is how he feels. Archangel Raphael, he loves her very much, very grateful to her. A lot of heart chakra energy. There's no ill will. But he is saying that, this is about money. This is about financial gain. This is about possessions. And I think this is what really hurts him the most, especially dealing with the first spread that I did for the reading. He didn't feel valued, he didn't feel like he was a human being anymore. He just felt like a product, the same way that he took a drug. It's I'm just a drug for all these people, they're just feeding off of my energy. They're just feeding off of me, and they don't know who I really am and what I'm going through. Okay. I want to ask a question, and let me see if I'll, which one do you want to use? Okay. So I'm going to use this card again, because I need to take a semi break, because that was some heavy fucking energy, dude. I'm going to focus on this particular fire that happened, funny enough, where he was born. They have this whole museum, the Kurt Cobain. They had this huge museum for him that caught on fire, and it happened, funny enough, 1 month before Courtney's birthday. So it happened June 9th, 2018, and 9 days before Jase's birthday. And it's really bugged me out, because I remember reading this in the news sometime after Ja's death, and I know Ja was extremely crazy about Kurt Cobain and everything about him. And I just found it to be quite interesting, because in Buddhism, 9 is a very significant number. It's the highest level of spirituality. And funny enough, Kurt Cobain is Buddhist. And I don't think a lot of people knew this about Ja, but I think that he did his best to be somewhat of a practicing Buddhist, or at least meditate. He was very much into that. Hence the reason why he was probably buried on a full moon, on a strawberry moon, funny enough. So he was buried 9 days after. So a lot of people don't really know all of these little intricate facts about what was, these intricate facts about his situation, or just about Buddhism in general. And also, the thing that's interesting is that someone was saying that Boda is an aspect of him in his subconscious mind that he would blame everything on. And I find that with a lot of artists, that they have this ego, an ego. It's kind of like the aspect of Gekyum, right? Gekyum is another form of spirituality or whatever it is, but it's having an internal conversation with yourself. So I just find that to be interesting. So I just want to focus on the museum, because I have this crazy feeling that he set that fucking museum on fire. That's like, as soon as I read that article, I'm like, you set that museum on fire, didn't you, you little bastard? And he's like, yes. Yes, I did. Like, that's the feeling that I get. And this is like in a space of, and I feel like he's kind of confirming this right now. He's, like I said, show me the Knight of Wands is usually like in a space of like trying to gain strength to defend yourself. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because this is in the root, this is in the past, which is the defeat card, feeling helpless, feeling like all is lost. And he felt that way for quite some time. Maybe he keeps saying like, I felt that way for like the first like 5 years after dealing with my transition. I really felt like I was defeated in this process, and it really hurt him. This was an aspect he's showing me. This was a way for him to fight back, because I'm kind of laughing because the Temperance card came up in the situation, which would come up reversed, which means a very hostile energy and a way of attacking. This is a Sagittarius card, so it's like short-tempered. He's using his anger, he's using his force to make this happen. And this is interesting. I kind of feel like he's the King of Swords. I feel like this is like two ways, to where this is like he's saying it was a pleasurable experience for him. But also this is like him setting shit on fire, but also I kind of use this card for Ja too. And he really likes him a lot. So I kind of feel like there's like a deep connection there on some level, and really enjoys that. But other than that, he's kind of saying that, yeah, I had a lot of satisfaction from doing what I did, because they don't deserve me, is what he's saying. He keeps pulling out this hanged man again, feeling like he was sacrificed, feeling as if like, you know, people didn't understand what was going on or how he really felt. And it's just kind of interesting because he really went through this process of trying to overcome that, to overcome specific situations, to speak his mind. And that was like the best way that he could speak his mind. He's showing me finding peace, partnership, getting support spiritually from other energies or other people that supported this. And they associated this event of trying to plan this and make it happen. Like, he's like really, it's like so crazy, because he's like, it's kind of like you see, you know, he's like, these people don't adore me. Like, they just want to, it's kind of like getting clout, basically, like getting clout off of his name, even though he hated where he was from and they didn't really understand him. So it's like he set that shit on fire. And he's very happy about that. He feels like that was like a way for him to like release himself. Like I just got chills through my body right now. Like he just felt like he just released, you know, he just felt like he was released from his past. And that was his way of kind of like protesting, because a lot of people were looking at the case, and I think he was probably upset about that too, because there was another trial or another case that was going on about someone investigating his death. And I think I'm just going to ask about that too, because, you know, there were theories about him being murdered. I'm going to use the Oracle cards really quick to ask about that, because someone was investigating his death, and I just want to see how he feels about that. If he feels that someone was trying to take advantage of him, or if he resonates with that, if he agrees with that theory. I like to, you know, I have my intuition. I have like the way that certain things, the things that I see, because it's kind of strange that on his syringes, on everything, there's no fingerprints. There are no conclusive fingerprints. And then the fingerprints that they do have, all of a sudden, you can't use them. They're not good enough to be used. and everything is just so neatly clean. There's no fingerprints on the gun. There's nothing. And if he truly committed suicide, wouldn't we have fingerprints on the gun? And he says that this shit doesn't make any sense. He's like, people aren't thinking about this all the way through. And this is what pissed me off so much, is because even if you're in a greenhouse environment and, you know, commit suicide or whatever the situation is, your fingerprints, your body is made of alkaline. It would thrive in a fungal environment. It's like people are not thinking about this shit. And he's pretty pissed about that. He's like, people are not like thinking about this stuff. Like, people think, you know, like in this greenhouse. Like, you know, it just makes no sense. It's like, it just makes no sense that people aren't actually using their heads and thinking like completely. So let me just see how he feels about that trial. Wow, this is crazy. Okay. So here we go. This is in the past, and I'm assuming this is thinking man. Maybe this is someone that was investigating or looking into this particular situation in the past that he's pointing out. He is showing me that he was attempting to hope that he can get balance from removing or finding peace within his old attachments or the things that he was dealing with in order to find peace within himself. And he's showing me that people block this because he's showing me the anxiety card in the situation. These two cards came up the first time. He thought that he was going to get his peace of mind, but he just kind of, it's like, he's like, I feel like they set me up to fail, you know? It's like certain things were just set up to fail, constantly feeling imprisoned by the same energy of not feeling supported 100%. And he feels as if, like in the root, here's the root. He feels that people lied. People deceived him. And he knows that. He's very much aware of that. People were deceiving him, basically, deceiving the truth, hiding behind the truth and keeping the lie going. This is the root. So basically everything is, he died from a suicide, case closed, curtains closed. But he still feels, this is present moment, he still felt like he was entrapped, you know? He still felt like he was being deceived, that he still felt like he was being lied to. Very hurt. It really hurt him a lot. But he's kind of communicating to me that he's learning to take a different route near future. Again, this is about healing himself. Okay, Archangel Chamuel is about the third chakra, the stomach chakra, focusing on yourself and loving yourself a little bit more. Doing his best to let go of the past. It's very, it gets a little complicated for him, especially around the birthdays, especially in the month of April. It's very hard for him to deal with. And he struggles with that from time to time. But he's finding balance with the fact that, and he keeps pointing to his daughter, like just talking about how beautiful she is. That's where he finds his healing, daughter personal healing and happiness. And I think he does his best to like kind of communicate to her. It's like that's where he finds his peace. Like that's where he finds his love. That's what he seems to communicate to me a lot. That she's the only thing that gives him hope in any type of like life form, because he just, there's just so many things about Earth that are just so fucked up, but he just appreciates her so much. Okay, and I'm gonna show these three cards, and I don't know what this is about, but he's kind of showing me that there's this woman here, woman holding coin. This is not someone that, and I don't believe that this is Courtney. This is a different energy. Feels like a completely different energy. She's more of a very timid woman from what I'm kind of sensing. Blonde, but more of a dirty blonde, not a bright blonde like Courtney. There's somebody that loved him very much, and I feel like he's expressing his love to her. I don't know who she is, but I just kind of feel like she wanted to be with him, I think. And it was, it's like, I keep hearing, I couldn't recognize how much this person cared for me at the time. And I know that, like, I moved on and I married and I did different things, but it's like, if he could do it again, he would choose you. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to assume that whoever this person is, like, they're going to know. Because she seems to be like, it's like they could connect on so many different things. But she seems to just kind of, he's like, she took the corporate route. She took the corporate route, but she's very spiritual. She's very, like, kind-hearted. And he really adored her. Maybe this could be somebody that lived next to him. I don't know why I keep getting someone that's, like, not too far from him that he really connected to. And kind of got him out of his shell, I think. And he has, like, an enormous amount of love for this person. Because it's showing me Archangel Raphael, focusing on the heart chakra, caring, connection. This could be like a good female friend, but this could have turned into something romantically. He had a deep relationship in earlier years who was a bit older. That's interesting. Interesting, yeah. This could be that female, because I feel like she's more mature, but she's very quiet. She doesn't want the spotlight. She doesn't want the attention. She doesn't care about that. And she really cared for him. She really loved him. And I think that he's reciprocating that love back to her and just showing that he really cares for her a lot. So that makes me really happy. Yeah, I'm not too sure who that female is. Maybe if I were to, you know, other than Francis and Francis Bean and everything, I can, like, look into that. But I just kind of feel like there's another female that he trusted. There's, like, someone else that he really trusted, that he could open up and talk to. And he felt like she understood him on some levels, because he wasn't this famous person to her, you know, like, she treated him the same, and he really appreciated that about her. So yeah, absolutely. Francis has a beautiful voice. I feel like he sits and listens to her sing. Absolutely. He's very much connected to that, very much connected to her. But it puts her in a complacent situation, because I kind of feel like she's trying to understand, like, probably trying not to face the consequences of, you know, face reality, I guess, you know, and I'm sure she's probably quietly looked into things pertaining to her father, but she doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, you know what I mean? Like, it's a complicated situation, you know, like, you only have your mom left, like, it's very hard to deal with, like, what's going on. This interesting was really crazy. This reading was, like, really crazy to me. Like, just the fact that certain cards came up the way that they did, it just, like, really blows my mind, because I was, like, thinking, like, you know, there was, like, so much, there's going to be so much love, you know, like, so much, I guess, affection towards his wife, and apparently there's not that at all. It's, like, really weird. Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins openly admitted that he did not get along with Kurt and said that he saw him as competition. Billy had been dating courtneylove on and off for years. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. I mean, I don't know when Billy Corgan's birthday is, but I'm going to tell you, when Billy Corgan, here's a fun fact about me that you guys don't know, that you guys are going to probably be really surprised about. After Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan did a music video, or had a group called Zwan, Z-W-A-N. And he's from Chicago, I believe. And he filmed, you I don't, and this is, and that might be interesting. Like I said, I don't know Billy's thing, his birthday or anything, but I recall pulling out the Knight of Wands, and that's more like of a wild electric energy type of thing. But yeah, Zwan did a music video downtown Chicago, and me and my friends were like, yeah, we're just gonna go. Like, I was a crazy kid. So I went with my friends, a couple of my friends, went to this music video, and I got my 31767. That would kind of be in reference to that card, to be completely honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. But went to this music video. They're shooting a music video. And so they finished the music video. I got to meet Billy Courtney. He was really cool. Got to meet different people from the band and like walk pretty close to Billy, because I ended up, and I'm wearing like this red coat. I'm like wearing all red in this music video, and it's a very short like clip, but I'm like in the music video, and my friends are like looking for themselves, like, okay, maybe I'm gonna show up here, maybe I'm gonna show up there, and like you can basically they cut my friends out, and all you see is like me, like really quick in red, and I'm just like, yes, like it's just like 2 seconds where they show it, and I'm like, yes, I'm in a music video. Like it's the craziest thing, and I still kept like the posters and everything. It's like nuts, and I had like Billy sign. I don't know what it is, but I always seem to be around famous people. It's kind of weird. Like I meet like low-key come across famous people in like the most strangest circumstances. Really do. I just kind of feel like I'm going to, I don't know why, but I'm going to shuffle this one more time in reference to the relationship with Courtney. And then I'm going to probably turn over a few cards just to kind of close this session out, to see what's going on with that, because I'm just like, whoa, is this like really how you feel about her? Like, this is fucking nuts, Ooh, okay, here we go. See, this was the card, and this could be Billy. It could be, I don't know, but this is like a very fiery energy, electric energy, could be indication of a water sign, but fire sign as well. And this is like the Nine of Swords, feminine issues, dealing with dealing with the anxieties of other people being around. Yeah, she was abusive to Kurt. Did not believe in beating women. Wow. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Wild shit. Okay, so let's see. This is some crazy shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you. Alrighty. He's pulling out specific cards all over again. Under the illusion that he has like that he could trust family and friends, and he didn't feel like he could trust certain people as much as he could. Didn't realize this. He's placing the opportunity card in his subconscious mind, and I have her on the crown, so awaiting specific opportunities. And I'm like, opportunities for what, you might say? Here we go. I pulled this card out before. She knows who this man is. I don't know who this King of Pentacles is. This guy came up again. This person came up again. Okay? This person is in the past, and this has some sort of connection to do with her, or she might know who this person is. This is someone that probably ordered something or was in cahoots, and I said 2 people gaining from specific successes. Like, I can't make this shit up, bro. Like, I shuffled up these cards. And the same shit keeps coming up. Page of Pentacles in a situation. Slow, thought out process. This could be another individual, a third party, but probably didn't gain as much success from the other 2. But this person came up as well. Page of Pentacles. Placing this in a situation. Probably someone that could have helped, but didn't help. Someone that probably knew, but just probably got freaked out or something. Don't know who this person is. But he's placing them in a situation. Temperance card. Again, struggling, fighting. I just keep sensing that this was like a fight, dealing with a fight, wanting wanting him to focus on, like I said, kind of like getting his shit together, going back out into the world, performing. He didn't want to do that. She's like, I don't fucking care. I just don't care. That's the feeling that I get. Struggling, fighting, messing with his patience. It was a very difficult fight for him. And he felt like it really affected him emotionally. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. This card just kind of like fell really quick. Let me see which one it is. This card, I don't know what it is. He keeps focusing on this card. Page of Pentacles. Someone knows something and they're keeping their mouth shut. That's kind of what I'm feeling from that. These two cards, Queen of Cups, King of Swords. I just kind of feel like these are people that he knew that were around him in some sort of way. And he's kind of hurt. Like, their hunches are correct is what he's saying. But he feels sad. Look at that. 5 of Cups. Ending a relationship. Feeling restricted. He's making it very clear, like, I do not love these people anymore. Whoever, like, betrayed him, he does not love them anymore. 5 of Cups is, like, feeling very hurt in the situation. Crying over spilled milk. There's a bunch of cups that are falling over. Very hurt. Feeling restricted. And the restriction is coming from the fact that he feels like, look at that final card. I was like, let me just turn over one more card because it's about money. Look at that. It's the same shit, dude. It's the same friggin' thing. It's the same shit because it's about money. Feeling betrayed. Feeling highly betrayed. And, just very hurt about certain situations. I keep turning over the same shit, dude. I keep turning over the same shit. Like, I've shuffled up these cards and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe he does love her. Maybe I want to find out what is going on with this Page of Pentacles, because I need to understand who she is, or they are, or they're a guy, or like, I don't. Wow, this is interesting. He's like, let's see if we can talk about this, please, because I know this is hard for you. It's very hard for him. I feel like he's getting highly upset right now. And I'm going to do my best to use the Oracle cards and like I said, end it on a positive note. Look at this. Defeated. King of Pentacles. Okay. Holy shit. I want to I'm sorry. I never do this, but I'm just like freaking out right now. Maybe this is like the only way for him to like really express himself, Oh my God. Okay, so here we go. Star card. Dealing with fate, dealing with destiny, feeling trapped. And I think he's clarified certain things for me, pertaining to who certain people are, okay? It's like, I can't, I'm sorry, I'm just like so, and see, I'm like, is this a female, male? Because I'm not too sure, because usually this kind of looks a bit like a feminine card, but he's confirming this is a male energy. This is in representation to that King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. He keeps pulling out Pentacles. So this is a male energy. And just to confirm that we're talking about his death, I don't know how clear this needs to be. 10 of Swords in his back, stabbed in the back. People stabbed him in the back. This person stabbed him in the back. This is usually a card that's an indication of murder, the root of murder. And he's highly upset. He's highly hurt. This is usually Nine of Swords is like anxiety, very hurt, upset, restlessness. And usually this is like an indication of, and like people said, like funny enough, a female. Let me show you. I'm going to see if I can try to find this other card because I kept pulling out the anxiety card. And that anxiety card was like no different than this Nine of Swords. This Nine of Swords, like I said, is usually related to like a feminine energy. Look at this. 18, right? Anxiety, Nine of Swords. A woman who is not sleeping, haunted, who's being bothered by this every night. They can't get a break from this. They can't get a break from this. He's like, if I can't sleep, you're not going to sleep. If I cry, if I'm upset, you're going to be upset too. Look at this. Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's like he's getting stronger. He's getting stronger in speaking on specific things. Again, building up resilience, like kind of like fighting back in his own spiritual way, you know? Learning to kind of defend himself in the afterlife. Doing his best to rest, to recuperate. He's not going to let this go until, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm saying this because I don't. He's like, you're not saying it, I am. Okay, so it's like, I don't wish death on anybody, but he's not going to let up until you're in the ground with him. She's the last card that came up in this situation. The final card that came up in the situation, meaning that in regards to his murder, she knows who this person is. It wasn't a hand of her own, but she knows what's going on. She knows about what was happening with this. This is very deep, y'all. Like, this is fucking crazy. I know you guys have been waiting for this reading, I wanted to respect him, you know, because I just felt like yesterday, it's his birthday. It was a very interesting day, you know, 2222, like the numbers 220, 2020, like, you know, it just felt very somber, like a very somber energy. And I think I was very much dealing with like, you know, that whole Pop Smoke thing is just still on my mind and it's still fresh. And I really wanted to like take an hour. And I know I was supposed to come on live an hour ago. But it's like, I really wanted to like, just like meditate and then get Kurt's energy in. You know what I mean? Like just kind of get his energy in so I could focus on him. And I hope that he finds that healing. Again, see the anxiety, but I really want him to talk to Archangel Metatron and find healing through his third eye. This is very important for him. He's very, very psychic, you know, but he's been dealing with a lot of struggles. Look at that storm warning, just dealing with a lot of struggles. So in this reading, I hope that after I turn over a couple of cards, I hope that he can find peace within himself. Oh, shit. He's not playing tonight. He's not playing. But he's saying I've had plenty of time to rest. I've had plenty of time to be very contemplative of my moves, of things that are going on in my life. Look at this. Dude, come on. Look at what's on his crown. Man holding coin. Can't make this shit up, dude. Can't make this up. This is on his head. He's thinking about this all the time, thinking about how to affect this person. Thinking man in his subconscious mind. Again, constantly thinking about how to affect this person. And maybe there's someone else that's still working in his favor that's on this realm. But he's not going to let this go. Whoever this guy is, he's not letting this shit go. He's saying that he's going to do what his heart desire is. I'm going to do what's right for my heart. Whether people agree with it or not, I'm going to do my best to find healing in my heart and do my best to love myself. But the only way for me to heal, because he's placing the door to healing and happiness in the situation. I'm not going to be happy until this particular situation with this person is resolved. Near future. Magic in the mirror. Magician in the mirror. This is about actually working forces from, dude, they shouldn't have fucked with his energy, dude. Like he's like, I'm a grand wizard over here. Like he's just like, he's not done. No matter where these people go in the world, they can't escape him. He's going to get this out here. And he's kind of showing me either someone on this physical plane striking this person, and this is going to be his energy. He's channeling this energy through this person to affect whoever attacked him. Look at this. I can't make this shit up, dude. Patiently waiting, being patient about this. He has a plan. The same way that they plan certain things. Their karma is coming. And he's waiting for the right opportunity to cross that threshold to basically like open up the opportunity for him to see this. Look at that. It's like injustice for him, but also not only for him, but he feels like he needs to do this for his daughter. Because he's just showing me, like I said, little girl kind of feeling a bit isolated from the world, and it's a little scary, you know? Like she doesn't talk about her sufferings, but it's like he wants her mind to be at peace as well. Last two cards. He's grateful to this attorney. He's grateful to the fact that she's trying to find balance for him, and that she thinks about him a lot. And I think that this is it. He's walking away. He's done. We're done here. That's all he wants to say. When I turn over that walking away card and those things happen in those particular events, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if it's the lawyer that's going to be writing a book or Francis, but I keep feeling like somebody's going to be writing a book about how they really feel. And I think that's when he's going to be able to release. He's going to be able to release some of that karmic stress. So thank you all for coming here. This is like the most intense reading. Like, I mean, I do some pretty intense readings, but this one was like really, really, really intense. Like the same cards just like kept coming up. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I will have my contact information below. Again, you can hit me up on IG at QueenProdigy0369 or at QueenProdigy369@gmail for consultation purposes. Feel free to support via Cashapp. Information below. Also use the email that I just said for QueenProdigy369@gmail for Zelle, PayPal, whatever donations are possible. I'd really appreciate this because this is my passion and I'm genuinely giving my energy to you all to tell you guys the God's honest truth. Okay? So I love you all. Have a wonderful night. Tomorrow we will have Selena. Be patient with me. I got to meditate. I got to clear my head and I have to, you know what I'm saying, get into the mood. But it was like really crazy because today it's like really cold out here. And at first I wasn't going to do it, but he was like, no, do it. It feels very cold. It reminds me of Seattle or something. So I was just like, okay, I would just kind of push myself to do this, you know? And I was like, well, I don't know if I should do it because I'm really depressed and I'm kind of sad. And he's like, no, I like the vibe. Let's get into it. So I feel a lot better now. Maybe that was just kind of like his energy just kind of sitting on me, you know, like just really waiting and sitting on me. So I'm glad that we did this and we're going to do a lot more readings. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm going to put a post in community so that way you guys can kind of like vote on who you want. But I'm going to be going in a chronological order of Selena, Princess Diana, Prodigy. These are just different people, 3 people that are kind of coming up. Oh yeah, we could definitely do Chris Cornell. Like, you guys just tell me what you guys want and I got you. So much love to you all. I appreciate you guys so much. Stay blessed tonight, and rest in peace, Kurt Cobain, and may you find peace along your journey. Oh, Michael Jackson, of course, babes. We'll definitely do that. Michael's energy kept coming up too, so we're going to get to it. Love you guys. Have a good night.